Do you ever feel like buying your first home is just getting further and further away? Like every time you finally save a bit of money, house prices just go up again. You're not mad, you're actually right, because in 2024, the average UK house price hit £286,000. The average salary, about £34,000. That's more than 8 times the average income, which means getting on the property ladder right now is harder than it's been in years. And most people think you need to save 50 grand just to get started, but the truth is, if you're smart, you only need to buy one house. And if you do it right, that one house can help fund your second and your third. I've built a 20 property portfolio and helped source hundreds of properties for other people, but it always starts with that one deal. And today, I'm going to go through a strategy that most people don't even know exists. So when I first got into property, I thought cheap meant good, right? I saw a £20,000 discount and I thought I'd smashed it. Just because it's cheap, it doesn't mean it's going to be a good property. I've experienced this personally where I bought a 48,000 property, and though I've managed to make a return on it now, the reality is that the particular area I invested in isn't the best. No capital growth, and then there are other things that you need to be mindful of. It could be that it's cheap because there's no demand. Maybe it's where there's more chances of getting nightmare tenants. As you get more experienced, it's fair to say that you start learning a thing or two in the process. And what I've learned is that a cheap property, not all of them, it can still be an expensive mistake if you don't know what you're doing. So before we dive into how to actually get a good property for dirt cheap, you need to be aware that a lot of these discounted houses are just priced wrong from day one. What you need is a true discount based on real market data, not some inflated Rightmove listing. Compare sold prices, cross-check everything, and learn what actually makes a good deal or a cheap deal. Now, once you realize what actually makes a deal worth it, you have to figure out two things. Number one is where to find those kind of deals. And then number two, how to actually afford them without waiting 10 years or saving months and months and years of deposits. That's where the residential to buy to let strategy comes in. So if you're a first time buyer, here's the good news. You can get access to 95% residential mortgages. So let's say you're looking at a £150,000 property. You'd only need around £7,500 for the deposit. That's a lot more achievable than most people think. Imagine saying you've bought a house with £7,500. It's just crazy. But here's the smart bit. You buy it as your home, but with a longer term plan to turn it into a rental using a buy-to-let mortgage later on. So you live in it for a year or two, you do it up, add some value, and then down the line, refinance it as a buy-to-let. And of course, to get that 95% mortgage, you need a good credit score and a solid enough income. Lenders want to know, you can actually afford the property. Now, let me give you a little bonus hack as well that can make this even easier. If you've got a lifetime ISA, also known as LISA, L-I-S-A, the government gives you a 25% bonus on whatever you save, completely free. So if you saved £4,000, they'll give you an extra £1,000, bringing your deposit to £5,000 without you actually having to put down the full 5k yourself. Literally, you could buy a house with just £4,000 off your own money. That's not hype, this is just facts. Now, there are a couple of rules that you need to be aware of. Number one is that the LISA needs to be open for at least 12 months, and the property you buy has to be under £450,000. Which in most cases it will be, right, for your first property. So if that fits your situation, that's a serious shortcut onto the property ladder. Also, just understand that most residential mortgages come with fixed terms of 2 to 5 years. So if you try to refinance before that ends, you'll probably get hit with early repayment charges. The smarter move is to wait until the fixed term is over and then refinance with no penalty. Now, here's the thing. When the time comes to switch your residential mortgage over to a buy-to-let, yes, you will need to leave 25% in as your new deposit. But here's where it gets clever. Let's say you bought a house for £150,000 and you put down 5%, so that's £7,500 without using a LISA. You then spend £20,000 doing the place up while you're living there. Maybe a new kitchen, bathroom, fresh carpets, all the stuff that gives it a proper uplift. Now, here's something most people don't know. Because you're living in it as your main home, you can actually take out a personal loan to help fund that refurb, which is crazy if you think about it. And the reason why that is because lenders are more flexible with residential borrowers, and technically the risk is seen as lower, which gives you options even if you don't have all the cash up front. So what you do over the next couple of years, you do the refurb, the market picks up, and your property value goes up as well, both naturally and because of the work you've done. Now the property's worth £200,000. When you go to refinance it as a buy to let, you'll need 25% of the new value, which is £55,000. But your original mortgage, if you think about it, was only around £152,000, which means if you've played it right, the increase in value, it pays off your original loan, covers the refurb you put in, and gives you the buy-to-let deposit, and you haven't had to throw in loads of new money. You've basically built your next deposit through strategy and not like years of saving up. Now that you know the strategy, okay, and you know how to fund it, let's get into how to actually secure the deal and not mess it up. So this is where most beginners get it wrong. Okay, what they do is they find a deal, they hesitate, or they move too fast without checking, or they get outbid by someone more prepared. Let's not do that, okay? Because the reality is, if a deal is below market value, trust me, you're not the only one eyeing it up. So what do you do? Okay, what you do is you have your agreement in principle sorted, get a broker to do it, even better. It's going to save you time and money in the long term, because speed and certainty can sometimes beat higher offers. I've personally won deals where I wasn't the top offer, but I was the most ready to pounce on it because I was more prepared. And then do not skip legals, do not skip the survey, don't buy blind. Your solicitor needs to be sharp, your builder needs to visit the property even if you're unsure about it. That's if you're going to refurb the property, of course. Because even just spotting one red flag early, it can save you tens of £1,000s and ultimately be the difference between you making no money and you making a lot of money. And what you're essentially doing is buy, refurb, refinance, repeat. This is the strategy that's helped me build my portfolio, and it works whether you're going down the residential route or investing route. And the thing with buy, refurb, rent, refinance, right? BRRR, you're still buying smart, you're still adding value through refurb, and you're still refinancing to grow faster than you ever could by saving a loan. Do not be the person where you now think you have to, save a shitload of money all the time, because you do not. Knowledge is power, guys. And ultimately, this strategy, it lets you pull out your cash. Not all of it, most of it, or even some of it, right? But it's never really all these days. Do not believe the hype. And it lets you go again without needing to save up from scratch every single time. The reality is, guys, buying a house for cheap in the UK, it's not about being lucky. It's about being smart. It's about being strategic and patient. Start with the right kind of cheap, discounted but quality. Use residential mortgages the smart way. Add value while you live there. Refinance once the term ends without early penalties. Build your buy-to-let deposit through uplift and not just saving up. And then that way, you don't need to wait 10 years to get on the property ladder. You just need the right knowledge. Knowledge is power, as I said. If this helped, go check out my next video, how I bought 4 properties for £66,000, where I walk you through how I do the buy, refurb, rent and refinance strategy step by step. Go watch it now, and I'll see you over there.